Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Canadian Prairie. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, I picked this graphic out to kind of describe the forecast here over the next 7 to 10 days across the prairie, a temperature roller coaster as we deal with an active jet stream, one that's going to send several storm systems through the area. We're already actually beginning that pattern. We've seen a shot of cooler air working its way in here. We are going to warm up as we head into the weekend, but then we've got another shot of very cool air on tap for early next week. Let's look at the satellite picture. You can almost pick out the screaming jet stream winds coming across the Pacific and blasting into British Columbia here this morning. We've got a storm system moving off to the west right now. On the backside of that, we got some showers moving through the Edmonton area this morning. We're going to see this rain activity slide to the east-southeast across the prairie here, bringing rainfall to areas kind of between Highway 16 and Highway 1 as we head through the day today. That's going to be about the best chance for rain over the next 3 to 4 days as, again, we build a ridge back into the region, warming up and drying out as we head into the weekend. So stepping back, looking at all of North America, 500 millibar flow. Again, here's the very active, very strong, very wavy jet stream. This is going to lead to a very dynamic pattern as we head into the early part of next week. And what I mean by that, dynamic, I think I meant amplified, but again, amplified, very wavy. So let's animate this. Let's see where we go through the weekend. Here's the system moving through right now. It's the patch of the very strong jet stream winds in that little U shape. That is our shortwave embedded within the stronger jet stream winds. That's what's bringing the rain shower activity today. Now, as we head into the later part of the week, getting into Thursday, now into Friday, getting into Saturday, you're seeing some ridging coming in now. We're seeing the ridge begin to reestablish itself out across the western U.S. Strong jet stream flow continues. Looking upstream, this is the next wave, the one that's starting to build here across the Gulf of Alaska. So as ridging builds in over the weekend, warmer conditions, drier conditions, but then here we go. When we take the drawings off, here comes our next wave, starting to dig in. This is the first little piece of it, and then it really amplifies here as we get into the early part of next week. So this a big ridge across the Pacific. I'm not so sure that I buy this verbatim. We've seen both models here are pretty locked in on this big trough existing and kind of breaking off across the midsection of the country. The European model and up to this point, and the GFS has kind of cut this low off across the midsection of the country. Now we're seeing it digging in more across the western U.S. At any rate, when this happens, the impact across the Canadian prairie is going to be to draw a lot of cold air southward across the prairie. That didn't show up very well in black. I'm drawing blue lines here showing a lot of cooler air being drawn south across the prairie into the western and the northern U.S., a lot of cool and dry air. So we're looking at the precipitable water content, the plot here, and this is going to help us show a couple of things. First, the stream of Pacific moisture associated with the very strong jet stream. That's going to bring us at least a couple of chances of rain over the next 7 days. The first of which right now. The next is going to make its way in here around Monday and Tuesday as that next major trough digs in. So you can see this little push of moisture here as we get into the back half of the weekend. There it is, getting into Sunday and Monday. This is what's going to bring that next chance for more widespread rain and thunderstorms across the prairie until on the backside, there it is, another big push of cool, dry air comes blasting in across the prairie and down into the western U.S. as we get into Monday and Tuesday of next week. So the 7-day precipitation anomaly forecast, there's the corridor, and it's associated with that very strong jet stream, the corridor of precipitation here. And now some of this is falling today. So it's not going to be, that we're headed toward an active and stormy week. You can see the green shading there, especially from central and southern Alberta into southern Saskatchewan. A lot of that falling right now and through the next 12 to 18 hours. Now again, about our temperatures. We're going to be on that roller coaster here with cooler air coming in on the backside of every trough. Again, we're seeing a bit of cool air coming in right now. You can see the warmth pushing into portions of eastern Canada today. As we take the drawings off and then head into the weekend, getting into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Remember, we start to bring some ridging back in. We're warming up across the western U.S. and the western prairie, maybe a little bit closer to average as you head off toward the east across British Columbia, across Manitoba and the Winnipeg area. But then here we go, getting into Monday and Tuesday of next week. Here comes the big trough. Lots of cold air being drawn southward across the prairie into the northern plains and eventually the central U.S. as we get into the middle part of the next week. Now, associated with each of these systems is also going to be some very windy conditions. So starting to get into a pretty seasonally appropriate pattern here as we transition into September. It's September 2nd, so it is actually the second day of meteorological fall or climatological fall, autumn here in North America. As we head through the day today, on the backside of that cold front, we could see winds gusting 50 to 60 kilometers per hour across portions of Alberta into Saskatchewan. We'll see those gusty winds moving into southern portions of Manitoba overnight into the day tomorrow. So breezy conditions today and tomorrow across the prairie. We'll see it calm down as we build ridging back into the region as we head into the weekend. Again, warmer, quieter as we get into around like Friday and Saturday, but then getting on the back half of Saturday into Sunday. And Monday, we'll see our next system making its way in that big trough, and that's going to bring windy conditions back to the prairie. So let's talk about the precipitation forecast. Again, we're seeing a wave of precip, a little bit area of rain showers making its way across the prairie today into tonight. We'll go ahead and look at the high-resolution NAM model. This is right now, heading into mid-morning, getting into the afternoon hours, and then sunset tonight, getting into around 9, 12 o'clock overnight, with this precipitation moving on out by the time we get to Thursday morning. Maybe a few raindrops falling in the Winnipeg area on early Thursday morning, but by and large, sunny skies for the rest of the prairie as we get into the day on Thursday, looking at sunny and warm conditions as we head into Friday. Stepping back, looking a little longer range with the European model. Again, here is the rain today into tonight, making its way east-southeast across the prairie, getting out of here as we get into early tomorrow morning. We then have quiet weather on the backside. We'll be quiet and dry as we head through the day on Thursday, dry as we head through the day on Friday. Starting to see a little bit of warm air advection now as we get into Saturday. This could lead to some very light showers during the day on Saturday, but the precipitation really accompanies the main wave as it drops in here Sunday and Monday. So this is where we see the trough start to dig in. We're going to be transitioning colder again as we head into early next week. But before we do that, we'll see another shot for showers and storms. I'm going to wait until we get closer to next week to really dive into the specifics with precipitation on this one, since we're seeing a little bit of a different variation on this big trough with each operational run here. It's not going to do us any good to kind of get locked into specifics. Just know it's out there. We've got the system bringing cooler air right now. We will be quiet as we head into the weekend, but right as we get into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, it's going to turn active again across the prairie. Chance of showers and storms, windy conditions, and much colder air on the way. So as we look at the total precipitation forecast, just raw from the operational model, again, here's what's making its way through the area right now. We'll see this corridor of precipitation heaviest along Highway 16, but we could see some measurable precip all the way down to Highway 1. Once you get south of Highway 1, it's going to be a little bit harder to come by, but still possible. We could pick up at least a trace, if not some scattered measurable amounts here from a stray shower or storm, but by and large, you're going to have to head up toward Highway 16 to get that more measurable chance for precipitation. Let's take it into the weekend, though, quiet. Remember, we're quiet Friday, Saturday, quiet for much of Sunday, and then as we get into late Sunday into Monday, here comes that next chance for showers and storms. And like I said, we will just leave the specifics on that one. We'll kick the can down the road to our Friday forecast. What I will show you is the operational run of the European model, the probability of picking up a half an inch or 12.5 millimeters of precipitation or more between now and next Tuesday. So this would include the next system, and right now we're picking up on the highest probabilities being up against the mountains here, some topographical influence here across parts of western Alberta, and then here across portions of northern Alberta getting into central Saskatchewan, southern Manitoba, and then elsewhere maybe a 20 to 40% chance of picking up that half an inch. But let's just, again, I'm letting you know it's out there. We're going to wait on the specifics though as we get into our later forecast later on in the week. Now with that big push of cold air, I'm showing you temperatures as we head through the next several days. You'll watch our warm up here Friday, starting to see those warm colors pushing back into the prairie, especially as we get into Saturday. Friday and Saturday, pretty warm across the prairie and quiet. Here comes that colder air, though, starting to blast in on Sunday. Sunday is going to be the day that the cold front arrives at this point. Feel the real cold air as we get into the day on Monday. And then as we get into Tuesday morning, as the coldest air peaks across the region, we are going to have to talk about at least an isolated chance for some frost or some freezing temperatures across the prairie. What I'm showing you here is the probability of temperatures below 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius below freezing as we go through Tuesday morning. And again, not alarming. We're just starting to flicker some of those lower probabilities here of picking up those sub-freezing temperatures across all the way down to the U.S. border. So it's just something we'll have to talk about, and again, something else that we'll have a better idea on the specifics of as we get to our Friday forecast. So here's the roller coaster. I teased that. Here are your temperatures over the next 10 days. Calgary 19 today on the backside of our cool front, 26 on Friday, dropping down to 14 for the high on Monday. Very similar here in Edmonton. As you take it on over to Saskatoon, here it is. Looking at a chance for a low of around 1 degree. It looks like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is when the coolest air will peak. Probably more specifically, Monday and Tuesday mornings will be the coldest mornings. And then it looks like Tuesday may be the coldest out of those two, with that chance we could get down near 0 degrees. So I'm not sounding alarm bells yet, but I may be ringing an alarm jingle at this point that it's something we got to watch out for. Regina, similar. Look at that. Low of 1 on Tuesday, forecast right now by the national blended model. And look at that roller coaster. 19 Wednesday, 25 on Saturday, a high of 13 on Monday. Winnipeg, a little bit more muted, but still jumping around quite a bit, a high of 21 on the weekend. Saturday, dropping down to 13 Monday and Tuesday. Have a great day. We'll talk to you again on Friday, and we'll reassess our big early week storm system.